So, doing two of these today. In the chat of the other video, someone mentioned uh, whether land would be for sale after World War III. This is, in essence, why I am pouring every penny I have that's not into like preps to live into silver and gold as much as I can get. After the war, or whatever's happening is happening, at some point, somebody's going to want to sell some land. And I have a feeling that gold and silver are going to shoot up in price uh, relative to land. So, like, as much of it as you can hoard, like, if you could get, 10 ounces of gold, that will buy you some fucking land. It just will. It always has. Like, I don't know how much land, but probably like 40, 50 acres. Like, and that's not that much money worth of gold. Okay. Like, my bet is, play for the long term, start hoarding gold and silver now. And in 10, 15 years, you might be able to buy yourself a little ranch. And in the meantime, I am, living in a cheap apartment or living in a van. One of the two, whichever you can pull off. And like, if you can, stay in furnished apartments and then, live in the van for 6 months and then live in an apartment for 6 months, like maybe take the summer months and, stay in the van, free camp kind of shit, and then get an apartment for the winter or, something like that. Like, I think that would be a good idea, but do that until the point, like after this, all this shit is over, whatever is going on and happening with the war and all of this shit, after this kind of stuff is over, gold and silver always have a price boom. Whenever that happens, that's when you buy your land. That's why you hoard gold. That's why you hoard silver and the like. I'm going to do videos on precious metals. I want to get some physical gold in hand before I make those videos, though. So I'm kind of holding off on that just because I want to actually, have something to show, basically. Right now, I have, a few $1,000s in silver. And I think currently, if you're like, hey, I want to get some precious metals, I would go and get silver first. And then once you have a decent amount of silver, I would just focus on getting gold after that. Because, like, you know, more than like 10 pounds of silver, you should be getting gold. Like, there's just no reason to. Like, I'm at a way lower point than that and already going, shit, I don't want to have to carry this. So I'm getting some gold. Like, I honestly, silver wise, I would get like $2,000 or $3,000 worth of silver at today's prices, just $25 an ounce. And then I would get as much gold as you can get your hands on. Like, if it's 20 tons, then you're very rich. If it's 2 grams, well, then you have 2 grams. But get as much as you can get after you get some silver. And the reason you want the silver is because, like, can you barter with gold, especially fractional gold? Yeah, you could. You could, but silver is a lot easier and has a lot higher trust factor, especially when you have bags and bags of U.S. minted coins and shit like that. Gold, uh, using it as currency in the new world might be tricky. So you might have to go sell it to someone and convert it into whatever the new currency is. And that may be the case for both of these. And if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. And like, they're going to make you pay taxes on this shit, and it's going to be steep. Whereas, trading straight out in gold and silver, maybe you don't do that. I'm not advising anyone to, cheat the federal government of fucking taxes, but like, you know, you have to be a pirate for the pirate's code to apply. That kind of thinking. And I don't know. I have a very good feeling that silver is about to boom to the point that you can buy gold with it at a much better rate than what you currently can. At the very least, if not, in reality, when it comes to the physical metal, there's less physical silver in the market today than there is gold by a lot. Countries hoard gold. Silver gets used up by industry and maybe hoarded up by some people. Maybe. Like that's really risky. Okay, we have an entire, industry of electronics that depends on this shit. I think silver's a really good bet. Also, in the silver market, the price of silver now is determined by the paper market. The paper market is the Wall Street Exchange, and for every ounce of physical silver in existence, they have printed 300 paper ounces of silver to trade in that paper market. So basically, they have fiat money that is backed by silver that is fucking with the price of silver. And it's a little more complicated than that. But as soon as that collapses, silver is going to shoot the fuck up in price. And like gold will too, because the same thing's going on in gold. But they are playing a very dangerous game right now. And the safest bet on earth is to go buy some precious metals, which is why I would encourage you to do so. Um, you know, silver is traditionally the barter currency of the world. Like when people came to this country, they had silver coins in their pockets, and that was in the fucking 15 and 1600s. So, like, don't tell me that silver isn't going to be good. Don't tell me that gold isn't going to be good. It's the same way. Like, I'm kind of looking at my shit a little bit like I'm time traveling. Like, I'm time traveling 20 years into the future. What's going to be fucking worth something then? I think that's how you should think about your shit right now. Because, like, whatever's going on, like, it's going to be bad. And it's basically like your life is on fucking pause until this shit is over in many ways. Like, you may not realize it or whatever, but any opportunities that you may have had are being dramatically changed for right now. Like, it's like a fucking role playing game, like they used to play over on Matt's chats. Uh, you know, that we're at the part of the game where we're like, there's dungeons and dragons and darkness and fire and shit. Like, go get some gold, get some guns, get a way to, live off the grid and just go hide out for a while. Come back. This shit'll sort itself out. That's my advice to you. Like, there might be a civil war at some point, and if that happens, be sure to look at both sides real carefully and pick the right one. You know, pick the pro freedom, pro love side. Like, I think that's the only thing you can do. And until then, hoard gold and silver and try to buy some land. Well, maybe this explains my thoughts on land and gold and silver and whatnot. And I'll see you guys later.